This video is a 5 step-by-step guide on creating your first ChatGPT plugin. Using ChatGPT 4 to write your code and Replit to host it. So I went to ChatGPT 4 and I asked, let's make a currency converter plugin. What API can I use? So for my currency converter, I will be using a real-time currency conversion rate so that the user will be able to get the real-time conversion of the currency. So we've got a couple of options here. We've got the exchange rate API, we have got open exchange rates, and a couple of them. I asked ChatGPT to give me the free API and they gave me the exchange rate API. So I've gone and signed up for exchange rate API. Use the currency data API here. So when you click on it, you get your API key. You copy the API key, application information. Here's the documentation here. Currently loading currency data. For the exchange rate converter, we don't need a lot of all these API endpoints. The only one we need is this get convert. So I'm gonna copy everything and paste them in ChatGPT. Although I've done that before. What we've got here is just the bare bones of the source code, and you can see it here. It's got parameter to and from, the amount to be converted, the API key to be placed, and the response code if everything goes well, and if not, the failure response over here. So I'll just copy the code and head over to Replit. Replit is a free online IDE to host your code online. If you haven't, you need to sign up to Replit and then you land on the home page. Currently I have done that, and then you create a new application, Python, give it a name, and then you just create it. I don't want to create another one since I've created one before. And I just paste it in here. I'm going to also put a link to my Replit for you to also be able to get the code in the description also. So like I said, after creating that, you're gonna get your main.py. You paste the exact code that you got from ChatGPT. Your code might be different from the one that I get, but just paste the one that you have. And in the event that you need mine, I'm gonna put the link in the description below. Moving on. Alright, just going through the code, we can see here that there's an error here. We can see it says an API key, and we can see that this replace it with the actual API key. This is not really good code practice. So the best way to solve this is just come over here to tools and scroll over to secrets. As soon as you get to secret, you click on secret, create new secret, give it a name. So let's say my secrets. Just give it my secrets and give it a value. So I have to go back there, here, and pick my API key like I did before. Come back here and put the value and save. So my secrets here, copy it. So good. So after that, then you just put insert and then insert. Let me put my cursor here. So I insert this here, and then so my secrets is already been created, and it's use this. So we just run the application and then run again, and then request fail for one. So we're gonna fix this. Yeah, this is due to the fact that we've created this variable and we have not added it to the API key. So as soon as I have this here, just paste this here and run, and we have 100 euros equivalent to £109. Amazing. So we've gotten our application up and running. Great. So running on the first try. The initial try I had didn't work at first, but this is working just as you see. Amazing. So now the code is already converting and it's working as it should. So now we'll go back to ChatGPT like we said. So after going through the step, paste the entire application that we've created in Replit and now include this. I now need an API endpoint created for the get exchange rate function and a web server created. So after writing this, ChatGPT responds if you're looking to expose my currency converter, because we need to expose it for ChatGPT to be able to call that response and then for it to be able to render it. So we need Flask API, and here we go. So copy that as well, copy the code, and then we'll paste that in Replit. So let me change that. Okay, so remove this, and then add my secrets because I already did. So run it. Does it work? oops, server flags. So just in case you're completely lost, this is the function that gets the exchange rates from the API. You can see that here, and it takes the currency from what currency we're changing from to the one that we are changing and the amount. And this also is the convert function from the my exchange rate, and this is where the convert function is taking place as well. So pretty much it. So we've done step 1, which is to create the application function. Done step 2, which is to create the API. So now we're going to step 3, which is to create the manifest file. So like we said, 95% of this will be done by ChatGPT. We're just going to copy the code and head back to ChatGPT, and then we'll have ChatGPT write the manifest file for us. So we'll copy the entire code and then say, write me a manifest file for this application. Here is the code. So after it's created all the YAML file, say, write me a YAML file for my app. Here is the code. Write it better, center the code to it. And sure, based on your application, ChatGPT plugin documentation is provided. You can create the API plugin.json. So we'll have this, which is here like so. So we'll create another application here, create a new file, .json. Good. So after creating that, we go back to ChatGPT, copy the code, and head back to Replit, and then paste the code right there. You can see that. Amazing. Good. Initially, when I pasted the application to just create a manifest file, it just churned out something that wasn't really functional for OpenAI. So given that, I went and I rewrote a new command, which is write me a manifest file, pasted the code, and when we got to the end of code, here is the documentation manifest file example for OpenAI. I went to OpenAI's API and copied the entire manifest file rather. And next we're going to be going to the OpenAPI definition. So same here, I'm just going to copy everything and then also have it write it for me like that. So copy everything. So the beauty of it is we can just copy all the entire API documentation and then ask ChatGPT to write one for us, which is what we'll do, like 95% of the work. So moving on, go back there and say, great, now write the OpenAI definition for this application. Here is the documentation. Look at that, OpenAI definition, pasted everything, and then ChatGPT responded with, given the code you've provided, the following is an example of OpenAI definition for the app, and this is a single get convert. It wrote everything for us, like so. So we're just gonna copy that like so, and then go back to Replit. And let's not confuse OpenAI with OpenAPI definition. So they're not the same thing. So OpenAPI definition is just telling ChatGPT how our API works. So we just head over to Replit and create a new file, which is OpenAPI.yaml. Good. And then we'll paste what we've copied in there. First, we've created our application functionality. Second, we have moved on to create our application API endpoint. We have created our manifest files, written OpenAPI definitions, and finally, we're going to move to hosting and connecting our application to the web interface. So what we're just going to do is just going to create 2 more API endpoints. One is to take our application for OpenAI to be able to put it in the server, and then to be able to retrieve data from this endpoint that we have created. So one last thing is we just copy these 2 code and just paste them here. You can see that the name of the API JSON matches with the same name of the application, as well as OpenAI YAML. It's just a connection between the application and the source code, just a linkage for the application to be able to link directly to the files. One last name for the application to run, we'll go to shell on the left here, if you can see my mouse, and then there you go, pip install waitress. It's just a web server that allows you to be able to run a web application. After that, we'll go all the way up, just type from waitress import serve, and then go all the way down, and just after we've written the entire code, it says serve application host and port 8080, and we run the application. Wow, application is running. So here, if you go to the web address, it's saying page not found. Just trying to run an application, but it's not found. You can see currency converter or currency sharper chatgpt-retrieval-plugin.com. So it has created a directory to this. So what we just do is take them and update all your URLs here. So you can see this currency converter or carrowreplit.com. Just update this here. Same here, update this. Go to the plugin JSON as well. You can see the URL as well. Same way, update this as well, and everything is good to go on this end. So after updating that, you are good to go. So we'll head over to ChatGPT and conclude the rest. But first, before we go to OpenAI, ChatGPT will also replace the server's URL with this. However, you just take it all the way to the core, exactly like this one, like so, and that's it. So we just scroll all the way down if we don't need anything to be added, and yeah, we're all done. So we've completed the entire 5 steps. We've created the application, we have created the endpoint, created manifest files, OpenAPI definitions, and now we've also hosted our application on the server and connected them to the servers. So great. Now let's come to the integration with the ChatGPT plugin at this point. So we'll go all the way to ChatGPT, then we'll go to new chat, and then we'll go to plugins, and we'll click on plugins, and we'll click here. Then you see this, develop your own plugin. So we'll head over to this, I'll find my manifest file, and it's all over there. Verified, validated, OpenAI, secure this. Look at that, this plugin is amount current based on all the metadata that we added to it. Everything is fine. We click on next, install for me, click continue, install plugin. Been installed before, and there you go, there you have it. So now that you have that plugin installed, so I use the same plugin, and I say convert 500, sorry, did I say $500? Okay, so pounds. Let's see if this works. Using the plugins, you can see secures unverified for now because we're in developer mode, and there you have it. Oh great, now you've created your first plugin. So you can build on top of this, and you can use it to do great stuff. You can do amazing stuff on top of this, and there you have it. The application is running, all good, all amazing. We've been able to create our first plugin, and I'm sure from now you can be able to do great stuff. For me, I'm going to be using it to extend my beauty brand Vashti to something great, and trying to see how we can build something better out of it. And on this note, it's a wrap for now. Been able to create everything all the way free. There's only one thing I'm asking of you, which is also free, is to like, subscribe, share, comment, and I'll see you in the next. Bye for now.